Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the second part of How to Play We Don't Talk Anymore by Charlie Puth. Last video we actually focused on how to play the intro part, and in this video we will focus on how to play the verse. I'll give you a quick preview of what it sounds like, and then we will head right into the tutorial. Okay, so let's dig into the first verse. You might recognize a few of these bars, and that's correct because that was the ending of the first video. It sounded a bit like this. So that's how we ended it. So now we're gonna head into the verse. It sounds like this, the third bar I'm talking about here. So you can already hear the singing melody. Then I just hope you found the one you've been looking. Yeah, it sounds like that. But let's head into this bar first. Actually, for this little part, it's really important that you use your index finger to bar the 5th fret of the C string, the 5th fret of the E string, and the 5th fret of the A string. I'll show you why. Okay, you can see an 8 and a 5, which means you have to pluck the 5th fret on the C string and the 8th fret on the A string. For this part we will use our pink. We will actually use our pink to get all of these melodious notes in this bar. So it looks like this. Pluck, use your pink for the 7th fret, then release your pink, and because you're barring this with your index finger, you're playing a 5. And then you use the same pink coming back again to play the 8th fret of the E string. So it sounds like this. I just hope you. So there's that. Okay, so the next part is a 5-5-5. And then you see two separate 5s. It looks like this. So you first hit those 5s, and you can achieve it by really barring this chord. And then you play those separate 5s one by one. C string, A string. Okay, you can see an X, and that's the first X we're seeing in this sheet music. And X stands for palm mute. A palm mute is achieved by playing notes and then muting it with your right hand. So you actually, what I did was inserting palm mutes into the arrangement to create this kind of percussive effect into and swing into the arrangement. So it sounds like this. 5-5 palm mute. So practice this slowly and surely. So far we got this. Practice first the notes on itself and then try to add the swing. And then palm mute. Then you use your thumb to play the 5th fret. This is actually still in the same place. That's because of strategic finger placement, which is really key for fingerstyle ukulele. And then you hit a 5. And then you use the same bar to do a hammer-on from the 5th to the 7th fret. In the last video I explained to you what a hammer-on is. Make sure to check it out if you haven't seen it yet or if you forgot what it was. Okay, so you perform this hammer-on by playing the A string and then using your pink on the 7th. So it's about this. In total it sounds like this. Make sure to practice that really thoroughly. So far we have this. Okay, heading on to the next section, you use your pink. So you actually play the whole melody with your pink, so it has to be a really flexible finger here. Okay, then you see a 5 and an 8. And then you release your pink. So it's do do. In total it sounds like this. And then you can see an X. It's a palm mute. And then you see 5 5 5. And you just play these two strings. So the swing is again like this. So palm mute, 5 5 5. In total it sounds like this. Make sure to practice that really well and then move on to the next section of this video. Okay, so let's move on to the second section of this video. You can see a 7 7 5 with an arrow, and that stands for downstroke. So instead of hitting the chord like this, you actually perform a downstroke. A downstroke is just, like the word says, stroking the strings downwards. I use my nail for it in this case, because if I use my thumb, it doesn't really give my hands a lot of coordination to move on to the next fingerstyle movement. So I just use my nail, my index fingernail, to do the quick downstroke, so I can continue practice doing my fingerstyle movements. If you find the downstroke a bit too challenging or too much right now, just omit the downstroke and just pluck it. Okay, so the grip is a 7 7 5, middle finger 7th fret A string, ring finger 7th fret E string, and then your index finger on the 5th fret of the A string. You play this, and then you use your thumb to hit the 7th fret, then your finger to hit the 5th fret on the A string, palm mute, and then a 5, and then it gets a bit harder because then you use your pink to get the 8. So it sounds like this. 7 5, palm mute, 5, use pink to get to the 8. And if you find the downstroke, like I just said, a bit too hard, just pluck. Okay, so there's that bar. Let's move on to the next one. You can see a 7 7 5 and then an H already coming from that chord. If that sounds a bit logical. You actually perform a hammer-on while plucking the whole chord. And that's only with one finger. So it might be tricky at first, but you'll get it down. Make sure to practice it over and over to let your fingers adjust to the new coordination that your fingers need to be in. Because you have to move one finger independently. You have to use your pink to do a hammer-on from the 5th to the 7th fret, while still keeping these two here. So in total, that sounds like this. So the 7 7 5, and now the hammer-on to 7. This is your hammer-on. With the chord, it sounds like this. There again, then again, you can see a 7 7, an X, then 3 7s. Sorry. It sounds like that. So the whole thing sounds like this. Make sure to practice those bars thoroughly, and in the next section I will explain the big jump we have to make. Okay, so this is the third and last section of the video. In this section I will explain to you how to make the big jump and also how to coordinate it well by using a certain form of practice. So we came from here. So where it gets tricky now is that you have to move from this position to the position of 2005. You get that grip by using your index finger on the 2nd fret of the G string and putting your pinky on the 5th fret of the A string. This is quite the stretch, and you can practice that a few times before doing anything else to get your hand accustomed to this kind of position, because it's a bit of a stretch. So I recommend putting your thumb, resting it on the back of the fretboard, and not to clench like this, because if I would grip or clench tightly or add tension to my playing, then I wouldn't be able to get that grip. So get your thumb here, and if you want a bit more playing space, make sure that your wrist is in the front, so not like this and try to get it, but really throw the wrist forward to get some extra space to play it. 2, 5. And how to practice the big jump efficiently is just moving from this position, so the last one from the last bar, to 2005. So just doing that a few times. Get it? So once you got that down, then move on to the next part, because this is quite the jump. Okay, so then you play the 2005, then you see a 2, a 5, a palm mute and a slide. It sounds like this. You make the slide with your pinky, so it's from 5 to 7. So 2005, 2, 5, palm mute, slide from 5 to 7. Okay, then you come back to the 2005, and now you're throwing your middle finger in the mix. I will explain how. So then you play 2005, you play the 3 with your middle finger, so it's so 2005, 3 with your middle finger, 0, and then you make the hammer on, and this is why I said it's important to use your middle finger. You make the hammer on from 3 to 5 by using your middle finger and then your pinky. So now I'm gonna add it together. You can already hear the melody, right? Okay, so let's move on to the last part. There you see a 0, 2, 3, 5. It's actually a G, but then with this melody line. So what I then did was play a G, but then instead of the 2 here, I play the 5. So it looks like a G chord shape. You bar your index finger on these frets, on the 2nd fret of the C string, 2nd fret of the E string, and 2nd fret of the A string. Then you use your middle finger for the 3rd fret. So now this is a G. If I would do this, then it would be a really hard stretch. Like this does not seem relaxed at all. So this is how I get my G. Then I put my pinky on the 5th fret of the A string. So it sounds like this. So the whole thing. So actually I switch from the 2005 after I did this hammer on. I just moved this down. So first it was like an open, and then after I get the 3 to 5 hammer on, I move it, bar it, and then I use my middle finger to get to the 3rd fret of the E string. And then I play all the strings, 2, 5, palm mute. So and then you actually start again. So there you have it, the first verse. In the next video I will tell you the alternative way to play the verse, and we're gonna also dig into the pre-chorus of the song. So I hope to see you next time. Thank you for joining me on this tutorial and watching the video. Feel free to subscribe for more videos. I'll try to make more tutorials, not only on a weekly basis, but hopefully also more times per week. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in part 3 of this tutorial series.